Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another video. I got my baby back today. We are out here on the Ginu. I haven't had the Ginu for a few months, but it feels so good to have her back. We're gonna be doing some freshwater fishing today. We made it here to a canal system. We're not gonna be fishing for standard species like largemouth or peacock bass that you normally see here in South Florida. Instead, we're gonna be targeting some giant trophy freshwater snook. We've done this previously and had some great results by taking a saltwater bait fish known as mullet to the freshwater, and the fish just couldn't resist them. So we did the same thing today. We got a well full of mullet, but the only difference is these mullet today are gonna be a backup security bait. What I really wanna see is if these freshwater snook are willing to eat an invasive species known as a bullseye snakehead. These snakeheads come from Southeast Asia. They were illegally introduced into this waterway and they have been taking over for the past 10 plus years. So this should be a great way to eradicate a few and see if our native species are willing to eat them. I'm looking forward to the challenge. It should be a ton of fun. I'm happy you all are joining me and I hope you enjoy the video. We just finished running the Ginu down this canal and she is running beautifully, which is a huge relief. I'm so happy to have this boat back. But check it out. See this little frog right here? This is what we're gonna be using to catch these snakeheads. All we're gonna do is come right down this shoreline right here. These snakeheads love structure and they're usually sitting really tight to the shoreline. I'm throwing this tiny frog because I think it's gonna give me greater odds to catch a small snakehead. We want something in that 8 to 10 inch range that's gonna be easy for a big snook to inhale. So we'll cast along this shoreline. The more parallel you get to the shoreline, the better your odds are gonna be and the longer range of being in the strike zone you're gonna have. They're ambush predators, so they hide under the structure and they wait for a little frog or a little lizard or a baby duckling or something to venture into the water and they'll absolutely crush it. So it feels good knowing that we're gonna be eradicating some of these fish today, but I don't like killing fish for no reason. So I figured this was a pretty good reason. We're gonna use them as bait and hopefully help the ecosystem out a little bit. So we're gonna take some long casts along this shoreline, run the bait parallel, try to get a fish, and then we'll get to snook fishing. When we're looking for these snakeheads, contrary to what you might think, a perfect presentation when you're going parallel to the bank like this is to actually cast it onto the land and pull it into the water from the land. If you think about it, that's the most natural approach. If a frog or a little mouse or a lizard is gonna enter the water, they're gonna do it from the land. So that's the best way to fool these fish. I like to cast it right up into the grass or into the trees and let it fall in and it just looks as natural as possible. So don't be afraid to actually hit the land before you get in the water. In this type of fishing, that's technically a good cast. And most others, it's not. Okay, we're approaching a part of the canal right now that's a lot more narrow than where we've been fishing. And I have a feeling this might be a better area for the snakeheads. I typically find them in more narrow canals. So let's see if it rings true today. Just gotta get one for bait. Yeah, I like this bank. Yeah, it could work. Oh, that's a big one. It's got me in the lily pads. Feels so huge because of the lily pad. I got him out. Woo. Come here, dude. Let's see. Pretty nice snakehead right here. Maybe 3.5 pounds, something like that. Too big for bait, so we're gonna let this guy go. It is completely legal Once we get one that's bait size, I'll tell you guys what I heard from an FWC officer, but it's completely legal to let these guys go as long as it's the same body of water where you caught the fish and you're not relocating it in any manner. I just don't have the heart to kill a fish for no reason. There's no snook that would eat this. To my knowledge, it would have to be like a world record. And we're not gonna use it for bait, we're not gonna eat it. So we're gonna let him go. Very cool fish. Bullseye snakehead from Southeast Asia. Let's get this guy in the water. We're still hunting for a bait size one. And when we get a bait size one, I'll show it off a little better for you guys, but this guy's going back. We're kind of pressed for time, so got to get one for bait. There's one chasing me. Oh. Yeah. Whew. Got ourselves another snakehead. Too big for bait still. I think the trickiest part of this mission is going to be getting the right size one for bait. It's funny because when I go snakehead fishing for big ones, I catch a bunch of tinkers. And when I'm targeting the tinkers, I'm getting decent ones. All right, let's get this guy out of here. Really quick, check this out. This is a really cool shot. Look down in that mouth. This fish absolutely engulfed that little frog. We're using smaller frogs, like I mentioned, just to try to improve our odds of catching a smaller fish, but that fish wanted that thing. These are such aggressive, borderline vicious predators. They're not good for this South Florida ecosystem, I'll tell you that. But like I said, I just don't have the heart to kill a fish for no reason, so we'll get this guy back, keep hunting for that bait. All right, check this out. Just caught a different species out here. Still looking for that bait size snakehead, but this is a butterfly peacock bass. Another fish that's not from here, but there's a distinction. This is classified as a non-native species. So the bullseye snakehead from Southeast Asia is invasive. They were introduced here illegally and they're causing detriment to the ecosystem. This is non-native, the butterfly peacock. They're from the Amazon. It's actually not even a bass. Some people don't know this. It's actually in the cichlid family. And they were introduced here to help control the population of some of the invasive species that we have from the Amazon, like the Mayan cichlid and a few others. But very cool fish. One of my favorite fish to catch growing up for sure. They're absolutely beautiful. I don't know how good the lighting is picking up right now, but they have some oranges and some greens, and they also have a false eye in the back. That butterfly spot right there, which is why they get the name butterfly peacock. This guy's been out of the water too long, so let's get him back. We're gonna release these, of course. They're not causing a problem. We're still hunting for that bait size snakehead so we can get the snook fishing. See you, dude. Oh, there's one. Oh, it feels like a smaller one. Oh, stay down, baby. Oh, I think we got one, Danny. I think we got a bait size one. Damn, finally. I switched it up here to a lower water column bait. This is like a swim bait. And the reason why I did that is because this is like a really blown out canal now. The wind picked up. We've been trying to get a bait size snakehead for a couple of hours. And I mean, this isn't perfect. It's right on the cusp of what I want to use. Check out this bullseye right here. I'm not sure if I talked about this yet. That bullseye spot right in the back, that is what they get their name from. This is a bullseye snakehead from Southeast Asia. And that little spot right there works as a defense mechanism for these fish. When they're this size and even smaller, a lot of things will probably prey on them. hopefully a big snook, but I'm sure bass eat them. Obviously like an egret or an osprey, and that just looks like an eye to a predator. So when they come to eat this fish, he could swim off rather than them actually going for the head. So that's pretty cool. A lot of fish have these false eyes. That peacock bass from earlier had it as well. So let's quickly, I spoke to an FWC officer about fishing with these as bait because they're highly invasive. And what he told me was I can use it as bait, but I can't transport it in a live well. So he said it would be okay if we just kind of hooked them up right away. I have a rig right here. Got kind of a big hook. This guy's not very lively. I hooked him kind of weird. All right, we got the snakehead hooked up here on my snook rod, and right over here in the distance, you could pan over that way. There's a bridge right there. I think there could be some snook stage up there, so we'll just troll this guy over there, see if there's any big snook down there that are willing to eat them. Let's see what happens. It took a while to get this bait-sized fish. We only have one, obviously, but let's go see if we can make it happen. All right, we made it here to the bridge. I caught a unit of a fish at this bridge, probably like 6 months ago, so let's see if there's any big ones home. Pitch this snakehead in there. I'm rocking a 60-pound leader, about a 5 or 6/0 4X strong hook. This is my favorite setup for this. It's a bait caster. It's a G Loomis IMX Pro Blue with a Dio Alexa 400. 40-pound braid is my main line on this. He's swimming up under there, so that's good. All right, I am tapping out on the snakehead fishing for snook. I thought this bait was gonna get absolutely engulfed, but weirdly enough, it just died on its own accord. You know, I mean, I know it has a hook in it, but we pulled it through these pilings. It didn't last very long, and it's stone cold dead. So we will put this guy in the cooler, make good use of him later, and I'm gonna switch over to a mullet. We'll probably try the snakehead thing again, hopefully later in this video, because I really do think it'll work. Maybe this snakehead was kind of weird when I hooked him. He wasn't really acting right, so maybe we just need a smaller one, a more lively one. We'll try the mullets for now, and I think we'll get tight on the mullet. That was so anticlimactic. I really had high hopes for the snakeheads. Unfortunately, that one didn't get eaten, and it just took too long to get that fish. So luckily, we have our old faithful, trustworthy live mullet with us. These are black mullet. What's so cool is I caught these guys in saltwater yesterday with a cast net, and I acclimated them to the freshwater, and now they're living perfectly fine in the live well with freshwater. So it's really cool that mullet have that ability to go between salt and fresh. Same thing we did with the snakehead. We're gonna pitch them under this bridge, but I really think this will get it done. Let's see if the fish are home. Mullet numero uno going out. Let's see. Like I said, we were so successful here last time we did this. Let's see if we could repeat the success. I try not to repeat too many videos, you know, like video ideas. I want to keep it interesting for you guys, but one of the challenges this past month has just been the weather. It's been so incredibly windy, and our options are just limited. I like catching big fish. I like catching trophies. This is one way to do it when the weather is just not in your favor. It isn't today. As you can see, it's blowing inside the canal. We have crazy waves, but we're making it work. All right, new bridge. Oops. No bites at that last one. I don't know if we disturbed the fish there when we had the snakehead on, but came to a new one to see if there's anything here. Ooh, he's nervous. He's getting chased. Oh, fish on him. I don't think he, no, he didn't get him. I think it's a tarpon. Just trying to get him. Oof. Oh, that was a snook.
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to get him. They might be a little too small. Oh, they ate the bait off the freaking hook. You gotta be kidding me, bro. Sounded like several fish if you ask me. I didn't bring that many mullets, so we might have to come back in a day or two. Dang, ate it right off the hook. Alright, see if they're still there. Oh, yep. They either just got eaten or he just got really scared. I think I'm eaten. Yeah, I am. Fish! Not big. Oh, God. Spit it. Oh, that was a little fish to eat this. It's a snook. He's right there. Wow, that was a little guy. That was pretty cool. Oh, fish, fish, fish. Fish, 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 fish. Come on, baby. Careful there, careful, careful. It's a big fish, I think. He hasn't eaten it yet. Come on. Don't do me like that. We got a fish on us right now. Right in the middle underneath this bridge. It's very easy to tell when you have a big fish on a mullet, because the mullet would just be completely relaxed and out of nowhere just start going completely haywire, acting all frantic. Still on it, just won't eat it. It might be too small. What can happen sometimes, you have a smaller fish like this chasing your mullet around, it'll catch the attention of something bigger in the area. Maybe that'll happen here. Still on it. Dang, I can't believe that didn't get munched. Man, we hooked some really big fish under this bridge. I was here one other time with my buddy Kyler, and he lost some gigantic fish right here. That was the most action we ever had here, and then we came back and redeemed ourselves. It is lightly raining. We are currently pulling up to probably the last destination of today. Let's see if we can get a fish here. Even if we do get a nice fish here, I'm probably gonna come back out in a couple days. I talked to young Kyler and he wants to do some fishing, so maybe he and I will come out here and have some fun in a couple of days, but let's give it the old college try and see if anything is at this bridge. Lone falcon? Is that a bird? Tell me that didn't sound like the... Lone falcon? Bro, look at my bait under there. There's no way that doesn't get eaten. See it scurrying? Oh, fish on it. Oh, finally. I think he's got it. I think this is a tarpon. Did he let it go? Tight at least for now. Oh, he let it go. I was gonna say, that was a little fish. He could barely get the bait in his mouth. I don't know if that was a tarpon or a little snook. A little tarpon or a little medium-sized snook. I'm like looking at my bait, there's no way that thing's not gonna get eaten. 2 seconds later something popped it. Just a small fish. I couldn't really get a good hook in him. Alright, whatever that was, stoned my bait, it's dead. What a bummer. Tough day. That's how it goes sometimes. Obviously this is not the end of the video. Still super grateful that we got a day out on the water. I got to hang out with my buddy Danny, and it's been a minute. I haven't seen him, I think, since Panama. So we will regroup, come up with a new plan, come back out here probably in a day or two and try again. On day 2, I got to get out on the boat with young Kyler. We ended up sticking with the freshwater mission, but we decided to try a new area that neither one of us had ever been to. Unfortunately, this spot was a bit of a bust. And after a full day, we only managed to catch one munchkin snook and nothing else.
With the odds and conditions clearly not in my favor, I honestly contemplated giving up on this video. But I ultimately decided to give it one more shot to see if I could catch that trophy fish I'd been searching for.
Alrighty, it is day 3 of this freshie snook mission. As you can tell, it's pretty dark and gloomy out here, and the wind is still howling. It's now 3+ weeks of 20-mile-an-hour wind, but I'm still feeling hopeful and optimistic that we can catch a nice fish today. I spent all morning getting bait. I threw the cast net a bunch of times, got some live mullet in the well, so we're gonna take a run down the canal, head to a couple of bridges where some fish might be stacked up, and see if we can get a nice fish to the boat. Let's go get started. Well, that was easily one of the roughest rides I've ever had in a freshwater canal. But check it out, we're pulling up to this bridge right here. This is the first spot that we're gonna try. I'm gonna pull out a mullet, pitch it under here, and see what happens. I forgot to mention I'm completely solo today, so it might be kind of tricky managing all this and trying to capture it all for you guys, but I'm gonna do my best. This wind is so crazy. Hopefully it kind of camouflages us under here. I have a little variety of baits in the well with me. They're all mullet, but I have some bigger ones like this black mullet, and I got some fingers as well. So we're gonna start with a bigger one and see what happens. This is gonna be so hard to control this boat in this wind. Hopefully you guys can hear me with all this wind. Wow, I am getting blown all over the place. If you're gonna try this yourself, just be warned, there are so many spiders under these bridges, and I am not a fan of spiders. That's probably the one thing that I fear. They're so creepy, and there's a ton of them on these bridges. When I was out with Kyler a few days ago, that was like the most I've ever seen. And I was freaking out. He was making fun of me. But I don't know if I have arachnophobia. I just really cannot stand spiders. So just a little word to the wise. Oh, there's a fish on it. Come on, baby, get him. Sounded like a small snook. All right, just pulled up to a new bridge here. I got a fresh black mullet on. I went with a big mullet this time, so let's see. I got a lot of faith in this bridge. Hopefully there's a big fish here today. Oh, bait's nervous. Bait's real nervous. Ooh, 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 fish. I ate already? Come on, eat it, dude. Oh, he's got it. 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's a tarpon. I was like, what is this? It's a little tarpon ate the mullet. Wow. Thought that was gonna be a nice snook. I gotta stay away from the bridge here. This guy hasn't even really jumped. Try to get this guy safely unhooked and back in the water. I'm gonna show you guys the color difference in a freshwater tarpon too. They're usually really green and gold, which I think is absolutely beautiful. When you catch them in the ocean, they're all silver typically. It's a little guy. Just gonna pull him over here where it's safe for both of us. All right, let's go for the land on this guy. Oh, he's barely hooked. Whoa! Oh, he just took his first jump right there. I was wondering why this fish wasn't jumping. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna get him in. He's barely hooked. If he comes unhooked right at the boat, that's okay. All right, I think we got him. So there's actually a law with tarpon. You can't remove them from the water if they're over 40 inches, but this one's well under that mark, so check him out. Cute little fish, real pretty. Hopefully I got him in frame there for you guys to see. They got that notorious big eyeball. This one's a little more silver than your typical freshwater one. They're usually really green and gold. Let's pop the hook out and get this guy on his way. If you know anything about tarpon, this is just a baby, little juvenile, maybe 5 pounds if that, and they can grow to be well over 200 pounds. So very cool fish, one of my favorites of all time. I'll talk about it all the time. Love going after them. Today we're targeting big freshwater snook, but this is a welcome surprise. Very cute little fish. Had some spunk though. I mean, did not eat a small mullet by any means. It always shocks me how big of a bait that these little fish can get down. It's pretty crazy. Should be almost ready here. There he goes. Just gave me a nice kick. Whew. All right, well that's pretty hilarious. I tried showing that tarpon off to you guys, but evidently I did not hit the record button on my camera. Like I mentioned, I'm out here by myself and I just made a mistake there. I'm always thinking about the safety of the fish first typically, so it's hard to remember to do everything camera related when I'm by myself, but fish swam off strong. That was cool. Beautiful little baby tarpon. I'm kind of running out of daylight here and I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back out before I want to upload this video for you guys to see, so hopefully we can knock out one more nice fish. We're going to come back up to this bridge with another mullet, see if we can get it done. All right, we have made our way back to the original bridge where we started at today. We're gonna see if we can get one more fish. We jumped around a little bit, but not much happening elsewhere besides that little tarpon. Really wanna get a big freshwater snook to show you all. Ooh. We're tight. Oh, let's go. It's a nice fish. Oh, it's a nice fish. Oh. Tricky by myself. Oh, come on, baby. Stay on. Woo. Oh, nice jump. Come on. I hope you guys can see this. Whoa. Wow. Wow, this freshwater fish is fighting. Whoa. No, baby, stay on. We're just pulling her out. We're actually using the wind right now. All right, she's coming out too. Good. This is what we want. Hopefully we don't slam the boat right here to the back of the... Whew. Wow, this fish is actually brawling. Wow, good one. Overslot freshie snook. Wait till you guys see this beauty. Barely hooked. Gotta go for the land right here. Oh, I got her. Woo. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together, man. Let's go. Let's hold this fish here for a second, and then I'll take her out and show her off, and then we'll get her back. It's probably a 34 or 35 inch fish. 33 to 35, I'd say. Beautiful. God, look at the greens and golds on this fish because of this tannic fresh water. I'll tell you what, this fish absolutely slammed that bait. There was no mistaking. That was so sick. Only one thing we got to be semi-careful of in here is gators, but we should be okay. Oh, you're okay, baby. You're okay. Hold on. Pretty freshwater fish. Very dark in color. I don't know if you guys can notice that. Absolutely evident that this fish has been spending probably its entire life here in the freshwater. And it's a pretty one. Gorgeous fish. I'm gonna say 34 inches now that I got her up close. She's all fired up. I don't even know if I have her fully in frame. It's so hard to film by myself, but let's get this girl back and try to upgrade to a bigger one, but very pretty fish. Alrighty. Alright, this fish is biting down on my thumb, so I know she's good. Ooh, she's spunky. Pretty fish. Haven't caught a bunch of big freshwater snook, really. I've caught a few over the years. This is probably in the top 5 biggest ones I've ever caught in freshwater, believe it or not. I just haven't put too much time into it. I actually really didn't start doing it until I got the channel, just to keep things interesting and switch it up. But I like these freshwater snook, they're cool. Fight good too, this fish fought really good. She's almost ready, let's turn her around. Oh, she just bit down on my thumb again, which is a great sign. Now I got her by the tail here. Just go back and forth with her. Just take your time. Never want to rush the revival process. These fish deserve all of our respect. And giving them a healthy release is the best way to show it. Oh, there she goes. Sick fish, man. She's heading right back for the bridge. Well, I am back here at my house. I am super glad we were able to catch a very quality snook out there in the freshwater, even if it took us 3 days to get it done. But I just want to say I am not giving up on the hope of the mission of trying to catch a giant snook on an invasive bullseye snakehead. I definitely think it's doable, and I think it would be super cool and unique. I've never heard of anybody doing it before, let alone capturing it on video for everyone to see. So look forward to that in the near future. Hopefully we can go out there and get that done. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button for me. If you're not subscribed, do me a solid and consider subscribing. I have a lot more content coming out and I don't want you to miss any of it. So once again, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, take care and tight lines.